Hey everybody, welcome to another important video. So in this video we will discuss CDS 2024 paper. So this paper was conducted on 21st April 2024, right? So I believe this paper is important because many of the themes in this paper, right, are important from our examination, and we will look at those questions which have high relevance for our examination, right? So in 20-30 minutes we will cover entire paper, and we will cover only those important questions which have relevance for our CSE 2024. So do not skip this video. If you are a CSE 2024 aspirant, do watch this video till the end. We will just take a surface look at the questions, and I will upload this paper on my Telegram channel. You can search my Telegram channel at in focus UPSC. So this is my Telegram ID. You can search this Telegram ID and subscribe to my Telegram channel. There I will upload this PDF. And before reading that PDF, do watch this video till the end, because you will get an idea of what notes I have written on this paper, right? So let us start. So first question we will cover is about the Jorvi culture. Now Jorvi culture is a Chalcolithic culture. Now Chalcolithic culture based on copper metal. So Chalcolithic culture is the middle culture between the Neolithic and the Bronze Age. Now Harappan culture is a Bronze Age culture. Which why bronze? What is the difference between Bronze Age and Chalcolithic? So Chalcolithic used pure copper. The Bronze Age people used alloy of copper, that is copper plus tin, that is bronze. Now characteristic of Chalcolithic period: first metal age, right? First time the human started using metal. Then agro-pastoral economy. The Neolithic period, Neolithic people used to be hunter-gatherers, but Chalcolithic people practiced settled agriculture. They were agro-pastoral economy. Again, they also performed burial practices. So remember about these important characteristics of the Jorvi culture. Now Jorvi culture was specifically found around the Deccan Plateau of Maharashtra. So this is the area where the Jorvi culture practiced. The period where there is a Malwa or a Kaitha culture around the Malwa Plateau. Then we have in the Rajasthan Ahara culture, right? In the West Rajasthan we have Ganeshwar and Jodhpur culture. So these are the Chalcolithic period cultures. Do remember their name, right? Now, so only one or two statements are correct, because you do not find stresses of Chalcolithic Jorvi culture around the Konkan. So okay, sorry. So here, if you remove one, only 2 and 3 is correct. Now about the Madurai district. Madurai district used to be capital city of Pandya kingdom. Now the city is totally enclosed by the fortified walls on 3 sides. On one side we have Vaigai river. Now Vaigai river originates where? In the hills of Western Ghats and drains into the Palk Strait. Now Madurai was a important cultural center. Even during the Sangam period, the development of Sangam literature took place on the banks of Vaigai river in the Madurai, and Madurai has found mention in the Arthashastra of Chanakya, and there are other literary sources describe it as a major craft center. So that was the importance of Madurai city. So all of them are correct. Remember, Madurai was the capital city of Pandya kingdom. Now this is Sugamya Bharat Abhiyan. So Sugamya Bharat Abhiyan is designed for the Divyang community, right? Divyang community. So to make every government officer and every government office and public places accessible to the disabled people, to the people, Divyang people, and it was initiated by the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. So we will build a ramp, right, so that it will the buildings become accessible to these people. Now it aims to develop the inclusive society for persons with disabilities. Definitely, because we are able to because we are creating accessible buildings for the Divyang people, so that it's a inclusive program which promotes inclusivity, right? Now there was no mention of pension in this scheme. So third statement is not correct. Only 1 and 2 is correct. Now we know that Panna is a major diamond production center in Madhya Pradesh. Non-cooperation movement did not deal with taking control of the law and order in the hands of those who are protesting. So statement 3 was incorrect. Now this was about James Webb Telescope. I have seen past through 2-3 years many questions have been repeating on James Webb Telescope. So remember certain details about James Webb Telescope, that it works on infrared frequency. It captures infrared frequencies, right? It watches universe in infrared frequencies. Now it is located at L2 location. Now what is the L2 location? L2 is a Lagrange point. Now Lagrange point is somewhere between, this is Earth, Sun, and this is Earth, right? Now Lagrange point is here. This is a L2. This is L1, L3, right? Here L3, you can find L3 here, L2 here, and L3 and L4 and L5 here. So what happens is, Lagrange point are points where the gravitational field of Earth and gravitational field of Sun is perfectly balanced, right? And it was the point, the object at this point is not influenced by the gravitational field of both. But along with Earth, the object at L2 orbits around the Sun, but the object at L2, the point L2, is further away from the Sun, because we have seen that the Sun is here, Earth is here, and L2 point is here, right? So the L2 point is far away from the Sun. It is around 15 lakh kilometers away from the Earth. Now these are the subatomic particles. Qubit refers to the quantum computer. We know this question came from UPSC 2022. Principal working of atomic clock. Atomic clock uses the resonant frequency in the cesium and rubidium atom. So 3 is correct. Now photo 51. So this is a technical question. Photo 51 was taken in 1952 by the Rosalind Franklin. Now this photo is historically very important, because first time it is a X-ray photo, captures how the DNA looks like. So it deciphered that DNA has a double helix structure. That's why this photo 51 is very important. Now this is about the totalitarian regime. In the totalitarian regime lacks freedom, like autonomy to the civil society. So this is not correct. Now talk about this hard power and soft power. So hard power is someone, take state or any group that uses a threat or coercion is called as hard power. Now Washington Consensus talks about trade liberalization. It talks about opening up economies so that there is a free flow of goods and services. So that is about the Washington Consensus. Autarky is a situation where economy closes itself from the outer world, right? For example, North Korea. So it does not allow any import or export from its territory is called as autarky. So any economy which aspires to be self-sufficient without depending on anything from outsider. See, take for example India, right? Situation where India doesn't import anything or doesn't export anything. So that kind of situation is called autarky. So which of the following statements are not correct? So autarky is self-sufficiency, correct. The Washington Consensus refers to the policy that seeks to intervention in the market. This is not correct. Washington Consensus does not seeks to intervene in the market. So this is not correct. Globalization is necessarily economic, not cultural. Globalization can be economic, globalization can be cultural. So this is also not correct. This is also not correct. So option number B, 2 and 3, these are not correct. Now this is important. The International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights shall have, so everyone shall have right to recognition everywhere as a person before law. So this is based on Universal Declaration of Human Rights, right? So every person has a right everywhere before the law. Although India agrees to the principle with ethos, ICCPR has not been ratified by the India. This is not correct. The agreement was ratified by India in 1971, and it was adopted first time in the 1961 and came into force in 1966. It was by United Nations. So this agreement was forwarded by the United Nations. It supports rights under United Declaration of Human Rights. Now this is important about the legal aid system. So we have NALSA, we have SALSA, right? National Legal Services Authority. So what happens under this, whenever the person gets arrested, it's a duty upon police to inform the nearest legal aid committee immediately after the arrest of person, right? So that the concerned person can seek legal advice or legal help, right? So both of these statements are correct. Now red blood cell, human body have no nucleus. Red blood cell have no nucleus. United Nations High Commission for Refugees. So this commission got 2 times Nobel Prize, in 1954 for helping refugees around the world and 1981 promoting fundamental rights of the refugees. Plastic is a non-biodegradable. Microbodies found to be present in plant and animal cells contain enzymes, right? An antimicrobial enzyme that present in saliva is a lysozyme. And other important antimicrobial enzymes in the saliva are immunoglobulin, lactoperoxidase and lactoferrinin. So these are the important enzymes in the saliva which act as antibacterial, antifungal, antiparasite. Now which of the following indicators are used? Now this question is important. Which of the following indicators are used to observe the monetary transmission mechanism in the economy? See, monetary transmission, why it is important to measure the amount of monetary transmission? Because RBI wants to control inflation in the economy. For that purpose, RBI needs to measure what kind of impact the policy rates hikes or reduction in the policy rates are causing impact on economy. How the rates are being transmitted into the economy through banking system. For that purpose, RBI uses weighted average lending rate as one of the parameter to measure the monetary transmission. For example, at what rate banks are lending to the customer. Weighted average domestic term deposit rate means what? At what rate bank is accepting deposits. So that is also one of the important measure to see if the transmission is happening correctly. Then 1 year median MCLR. So marginal cost based lending rate. So this is the parameter used by banks to decide the lending rate. Remember this MCLR. Now MCLR has a link with the repo rates, policy rates decided by the RBI. That's why 1, 2, 3 are correct. Now standing deposit facility rate was introduced in April 22. This is correct. Now this SDF was introduced to replace fixed reserve repo rate as a floor up for the LAF. Now SDF was introduced to suck out excess liquidity from the market. So SDF provides flexibility to the RBI, because usually the money that RBI sucked from economy on the with the help of fixed reserve repo rate was for overnight, but SDF can take money from the market for long term also. That's why both of these statements are correct. Now wholesale price index, basically wholesale price index 3 types of commodities: primary article, fuel and power, and manufacturing products. So primary articles has a 22% weightage, fuel and power has 13% weightage, manufacturing products has 65% weightage. Now so by this logic, first statements become incorrect, second statement becomes correct, because weightage of the manufacturing product in WPI is higher. Now about the FTAs, why does India have a FTA with other countries? Because India wants to wants to increase its exports to the other nation. At the same time, India wants to have critical imports from the other nation as well, which are critical for India's growth story, right? That's why India has a FTAs with other nations. Now, which of the following factors promote export? For example, take MFN. Now, what is MFN? MFN is the most favored nation. So the term comes under WTO. What does it mean? Suppose we are giving some concession to some Sri Lanka, right? So it means that we should extend same benefit to China as well. So that is a MFN, right? For example, see, Pakistan has a MFN status to Bangladesh, but Pakistan did not give MFN status to India. Because of that, our exports to India are expensive as compared to the Bangladesh exports, right? That's why our exports are hurting. Hence, MFN status has a role to play in the growth of exports. So number one is right. Extension of relaxation in terms of rules of origin. Now, what is rule of origin? Rule of origin is something that suppose we have Singapore, we have China, we have India. Now, India and Singapore has a FTA, China and Singapore has a FTA, but India and China does not have FTA. That's why the Chinese products which are coming to India will have higher custom duties, right? But China exported to India from Singapore, they will have lesser custom duties to pay, right? And from that route, Chinese product will be cheaper, and right. So that this does not happen, there are other rules such as rules of origin. Now, rules of origin means if anything, so see, if Singapore wants to export anything that is imported from China, that imported material should be processed or should be value added at least 35%. So 35% value addition should be happen from the imports of to the imports of China, so that it can be exported to India. So that is rule of origin. So all of these statements are correct. These particular measures promote exports, right? So all of these statements are correct. Now, C10 number is what? C10 is something is a measure of quality of fuel, how easily diesel ignites. So that is the measure of C10. C10 is also called as hexadecene. Higher the C10 value, better the fuel ignites. Now, which country are part of the Arabian Peninsula? So we know that Jordan is not a part of Arabian Peninsula. This is Arabian Peninsula. We know this is Oman, Yemen, right? Oman, Yemen. Then we have Kuwait here. This is Arabia. So Jordan is not a part of Arabian Peninsula. Which of the following biosphere reserves is spread over 3 states? We know that Nilgiri is spread over 3 states. Achanakmar, Amarkantak spread over 2 states, Chhattisgarh and MP. Then we have Sechachalam biosphere, which is in Andhra Pradesh, and Agatsamalai spread over Kerala and Tamil Nadu. Now, which of the following statement regarding the continent of Antarctica is correct? Now, Antarctica has the highest average elevation all over the world, right? So compared to other continents, Antarctica has higher elevation, and highest mountain on Antarctica is Mount Vinson. The second highest mountain is Mount Erebus, and third is Prince Charles Mountain. Now, why is Antarctica important? Because India has 3 important bases on Antarctica: Bharati, Dakshin Gangotri and Maitri. On Arctic side, India has the Arctic side India has a Himadri station, right? Now, there was a news recently that Indian Post Office has opened its branch at Bharati station in Antarctica. That's why Antarctica is important. Marquez, can you read this? It is important. Now, these are important wildlife sanctuaries that are in use. Ramnagar Wildlife Sanctuary, which is in JK. Now, this wildlife sanctuary is in news because Defense Ministry has taken a lot of Defense Ministry has acquired a lot of land from this wildlife sanctuary. That's why it is in news. Now, Chakrashila Wildlife Sanctuary is in Assam, famous for golden langur. Now, Nahar Wildlife Sanctuary. The state, now the government has proposed to bring this wildlife sanctuary under eco-sensitive zone. Kane Wildlife Sanctuary is already notified as a eco-sensitive zone. Now about the Lakshadweep, remember that the productivity per hectare of the coconut in the Lakshadweep is highest in the world or highest in the India, and oil content in the nuts such as palm nuts in the Kerala is one of the highest in the world, around 82% is extracted as oil, so highest in the world. So both of these statements are correct. These are the river patterns, not very important, read this. What is dendritic, what is trellis, radials. So British, whenever which of the following industries were most affected by the deindustrialization process carried out by the British? So cotton textile was one of the first industry that got destroyed, right, as a process of deindustrialization. Now which one of the following is the first commercial space station? Now Axiom station is will be one of the first commercial space station designed by the Axiom company and this will be launched in 2026. Axiom space station. The owner of this company is Kim Gaffarin and Mike Safredini. Now Voyager is a space probe which was launched in 1977 by NASA, which is on interstellar mission. So Voyager 1 has already gone out of our solar system and it is still sending signal to NASA. Now this is GMRT in Pune, Narayangaon. So GMRT has a multiple parabolic antenna spread over 25 square kilometer, right, 25 kilometer, and it has around 30 parabolic antennas who has diameter of 45 meter. We have 30 parabolic antennas of each have diameter of over 30 meters. So that is about GMRT, Narayangaon, Pune. Now Marrakesh Partnership, this is one of the most important question of this paper. So Marrakesh Partnership was signed in COP 2022 which was held in the Morocco, Marrakesh. Now this is a NGO or initiative by the non-state actors. Now what is the initiative deals with? This initiative deals with it's a global climate action. It deals with the, so basically it is not an intergovernmental partner, so it is an intergovernment partnership for the global climate action, but also collaboration between the governments and other stakeholders like cities, businesses, right? So check if the climate actions are in tune with the Paris Agreement. So it promotes climate action to meet the objective of the Paris Agreement. It also ensures that 2023 agenda of sustainable development is achieved. So that was all about Marrakesh Partnership. Now Bhunidhi Vista is a ISRO portal. Is a portal by the ISRO which has data from various satellites such as Retrosat, Sentinel-1, Sentinel-2. It receives so this portal receives data from various satellites, around 46 satellites. Some of them of Indian origin, some of them are of foreign origin, right? And this is a data visualization tool. It is a web-based services provided by the ISRO. So remember this Bhunidhi Vista. For the Special Marriage Act, these three statements are correct. Now GDP deflator captures the average price of unchanging basket of commodities. This is not correct. GDP deflator captures average prices of changing basket of commodities that constitute GDP of the country. So this unchanging, because of this unchanging word, this statement becomes incorrect. GDP deflator can be used to measure the real GDP of the economy but not the inflation of the inflation rate. This is not correct. GDP deflator can be used to calculate the real GDP as well as inflation in the country. So both of the statements are incorrect, neither one, neither two. Now this dengue virus is a flavirovirus. Under this category there are many viruses such as Zika virus, West Nile virus, yellow virus, yellow fever virus. These are viruses of the same family, and these are RNA viruses. Now there are certain viruses which are DNA viruses such as common cold, conjunctivitis, bronchitis. Nipah virus is a single-stranded negative sense RNA. Now which of the following statements are correct? Price index captures the changes in the average price of the constant basket. So in this statement we see that because of the unchanging basket, this statement becomes incorrect. But here in the CPI we have basket of fixed commodities. So this statement is correct. If the price of index takes value of 100 to 110 to 121 in 3 consecutive years separately, then the inflation rates in the second and third year are 10% and 21%. So this is not correct. So for calculating inflation, we use base of the previous year, right? So take for example, the price index changes from 100 to 110. So change is 10, right? 10 number over the base of 100. So it is 10% around. Now for the next year we have base of 1 and 10 over 121 minus 110, right, over the base of 110. Now how much it becomes? Like 11 divided by 110, which is also 10%, right? So 21% is not correct. So only first statement is correct. Now about the country's forex reserve. Majority of the forex reserve is in terms of foreign currency assets. 70% of the forex reserve is stored as foreign currency such as dollar, euro, pound, right? Gold, for around 5% part of the forex is a gold, around 2 to 3% in SDR, and around 1 to 2% in terms of reserve position with IMF. Now market, which of the following statements are not correct? Remember, market mechanism overproduces good that generate positive externality. So this is not correct. Market mechanism depends upon demand and supply. It does not overproduce. It produces what is demanded. So this is not correct. A cap and trade of pollution permits can be used by the government to achieve the social optimum. So social optimum to control the pollution is a social optimum, right? So government can use mechanisms such as carbon credit, right? So such mechanism can be used to achieve the social optimum. So second statement is correct. So this is not correct. All other statements are correct, such as tragedy of commons is an example of negative externality. So this is also correct. The GST on the precious metals such as gold, silver is around 3%. Now the M1, definition of M1 is that currency with deposit, right? Currency with public and banks, and demand deposits with banks. So this is the measure of the M1. Now what is the M2? M2 is, what is M3? M3 is the M1 plus post office deposit, plus time deposits. M3 is equal to M1 plus time deposits. So that is M3. Now what is the answer of this question? 2 and 4, right? Currency with public and banking system and demand deposits. So that is the measure of M1. Now there are two important excise duties which are not shareable with state, that is additional excise duty and special additional excise duty. Now because it is additional levy, we can apply logic here. Because it is additional levy, it is definitely appropriated by the center. Now net factor payment earned from the abroad are included in the gross domestic product, not in GDP but NNP, national product. right? So remember this, either gross national product or net national product. Imports are subtracted in calculating the GDP, that is correct. Purchase and sale of second hand goods are not included in the GDP, this is also correct. Correct. Inventories are part of GDP, also correct. Now level of per capita GDP depends upon proportion of population in the working age, that is correct, because if more people are working means GDP will rise. Work participation rate, this is also correct, and workers per productivity is also correct. Now many of the institutes have given the answer number 1, 2 and 3, but in my opinion GDP per capita may increase only if the workers per productivity is increased. Now there are 2-3 questions asked on Köppen climate system. Köppen climate system. So remember Köppen. So few important things you should remember. I will discuss that question later in the slide. So first of all, E letter stands for ice cap climate. Now there are two types of E climate: EF climate, where there is a permanent ice on the floor, and E, right, and ET climate, where there is no true summer, but the region experiences winter all along year wise. Now climate in Himalaya is HWB type, which means subtropical highland climate. Now this is about insolation. We know that insolation is incoming solar radiations, right? Now incoming solar radiations are short wave radiations, and when this radiation reflect back by the earth, it becomes long wave radiation, which are captured by the greenhouse gases, and that is causes global warming. Remember, so incoming solar radiations are short wave. By that logic, first statement is correct. Insolation is evenly distributed across the earth. This is not correct. The subtropical deserts receive large amount of insolation because the skies at subtropical desert are clear skies because of high pressure area, right? Because of that it receives maximum solar insolation. Next comes equator, because equator is directly facing sun, but it does not get much of the insolation because of the cloudiness over the equator. Now, as I discussed in the past question, we will discuss Köppen climate system. In the Köppen climate system, you can see A stands for tropical humid area, B stands for dry climate. Dry climate can be found in steppe and desert, and then we have warm temperate climate, right? So steppe means so B stands for dry climate for steppe and desert, but steppe is indicated BS and desert indicated as a BW. So BW stands for desert climate. I don't feel these are just factual based questions. Read it. Now this question I wanted to discuss: culturable wasteland. Now culturable wasteland is that land which has been kept fallow for over 5 years. Now this land can be cultivable, but it has been left fallow for more than 5 years, is called as cultivable wasteland. Now about the Bhakti movement, remember that Namdev never met Saint Kabir because these two people were of different era. Namdev lived in 1270 to 1350, and Kabir lived in 1440 to 1580. But Namdev played a critical role for transmitting Southern Bhakti movement to northern India, and he was a rigorous monotheist and opposed caste distinction. So 1 and 2 correct. Now about the Human Rights Acts 1993. So this act established National Human Rights Commission in October 1993 and the State Human Rights Commission. So these are the product of this act. This act also established human rights courts at every district, to protect human rights, but Human Rights Council has no relation with the Human Rights Act. It is a kind of NGO in India. Now, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar called Article 32 as the heart and soul of the Constitution because Article 32 provides a remedy. Constitutional remedy means a person can approach court directly if he thinks that his fundamental rights are violated by the state. So that's the power article gives to the person. Because of that, Dr. Ambedkar said it is the heart and soul of the Constitution. Now, right to privacy case is also called a Justice K.S. Puttaswamy case. Now, Justice K.S. Puttaswamy was a justice in Karnataka High Court. Right? He launched what is that? A writ petition in Supreme Court against the Aadhaar scheme. Now, Supreme Court ruled that in 2017, right to privacy under Article 21 is a fundamental right. Now, the expression of unity of nation was substituted by the unity and integrity of the nation by 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act 1976. So, there used to be a phrase called unity of nation, which was replaced by unity and integrity of nation. Now, 7th edition of Indian Ocean Conference was held in Perth. Now, this is Perth in Australia, and first edition of this Indian Ocean Conference was held at Singapore in 2016, and this was organized by India Foundation. Now, this conference focuses on geopolitical and economic importance of the Indian Ocean. Now, DRDO has developed a new assault rifle called as Ugram. Now, this Ugram will replace old aging INSAS rifles. First commander-in-chief of the army, independent army, was K.M. Kariappa. Now, this question is important about the SCO, Shanghai Cooperation Organization, which was a economic security and counter-terrorist organization. It's a Eurasian organization, which was established at the initiative of China. Now, this SCO organization was established in 15th June 2001. India joined SCO in 2017. Along with India, Pakistan also joined in 2017. Recently in 2023, Iran also joined SCO. Now, this SCO, Shanghai Cooperation Organization, has import intelligence organization, that is RATS. Now, RATS, what does it do? So it is a intelligence organization which promotes cooperation in terms of terrorism, separatism, and extremism. Now, India recently entered into agreement with the Argentina for the exploration of the lithium. Now, we know that Argentina, Chile, and Bolivia have a largest lithium area, has a largest potential of lithium in the world, right? So, among that, India has signed agreement with the Argentina. Now, India's Kabil, that is Khanij Bidesh Limited, and Argentina's Camain, these two companies are collaborating together to explore lithium at a Catamarca province in the Argentina. Catamarca province. Remember this word, Catamarca province. Now, about the RCEP. RCEP is a new trading bloc. It was an initiative of China. Now, in this bloc we have countries, that is ASEAN and plus 10 countries which has FTA with ASEAN. But India is not a part of this RCA because of the fear of China. India has already a lot of trade deficit with the China, and India do not want to exacerbate it, right? Because of that, India opted out of this RCEP bloc. Now, Sambhav is a protocol end-to-end secure mobile ecosystem. It is a protocol developed by the Indian Army which promotes secure communication between army personnel, but it does not use its private network. Important about this Sambhav is that it doesn't have to use its private network. A communication can be secured on commercial cellular network using this protocol, Sambhav protocol. Now, Green Credit Initiative, which was launched at COP28 in Dubai by Indian Prime Minister. Now, what is the Green Credit Initiative? What it do? So it was initiative under Environment Ministry, right? It is a response to the changing climate change. That is correct. It promote plantation on the westland and river catchment area. This is also correct. It is a scheme of government India to replace kerosene. This is not correct. Rather, it encourages businesses, individuals and companies to invest their money in a project which promotes environmental sustainability, such as tree plantation, wastewater management, sustainable agriculture, waste management, agri pollution reduction, air pollution reduction and mangrove conservation. Now, recently Government of India announced Bharat Ratna for 5 people, 5 dignitaries. Usually Bharat Ratna used to be awarded only 3 people every time. At each time only 3 people can get Bharat Ratna, but this time Government of India has broken that protocol and it has announced it Bharat Ratna for 5 people. And of those 5 people, we have Karpuri Thakur, which was famous for reservation to the OBC. Then we have MS Swaminathan, who was a propounder of who was also called as a father of Green Revolution. Then we have P.V. Narasimha Rao, who initiated GPL reform, globalization, privatization reform. And we have Chaudhary Charan Singh and Lal Krishna Advani. So these are the 5 people which received Bharat Ratna this year. Now about the WIPO, right? WIPO, World Intellectual Property Organization, which releases Global Innovation Index. We have seen that India has improved its rank from 84th in 2014 to now it is a 40th place. So India has improved rank consistently in the last 10 years. So both of these statements are correct. Now this was all about this today's paper. You can download this paper from my Telegram channel. As I told you earlier, search for In Focus UPSC on Telegram search box and you will find my channel. So go to that channel and download this PDF, right? Download this PDF. It will be handy for you to revise this PDF in time before Prelim 2024, right? So do download this PDF and do let me know how do you feel about this lecture in the comment section. Thank you.